Now, I've got a bone to pick. I'm not gonna lie. I really think these unsung heroes of the 90s, the 250cc inline 4 screamers, are truly underappreciated, and there's no denying they are a dying breed. They just literally don't make them like they used to back in the day, and there's a reason for that. So back in the 80s and the 90s, Japan's economy was booming, and they could afford to put a lot of money into some awesome technology, and they focused heavily on their 250cc category, and that's kind of why you have bikes like the CBR 250RR, the CBR 250R, the Ninja ZX2R, and select others, including the Bandit 250. What then happened was Japan experienced a massive recession, and suddenly all that fun spending money was cut. Eventually everything came back to normal, and the 250cc class became a thing again, but it was the Ninja 250R, the Honda CBR 250R, the newer one of course, not the MC19. Those were the bikes that then took over the 250cc market. These bikes, they're great, there's no denying it, they're fantastic for learners, but they are not sports bikes at the end of the day. They are commuter bikes that are meant to be forgiving, meant to be reliable, meant to be great on petrol, and that's what they do. They serve that purpose, but they never brought back the inline 4 screamers that weren't meant to be little beginner bikes, these pocket rockets, such as the B250. So the class of inline 250cc sports bikes died, and it wasn't until recently Kawasaki released the ZX25R, but for a very small market in Asia. America didn't get it, Australia didn't get it. Kind of makes sense. 250cc is a bit small for countries such as this, but that'll be another video. The point is, they just don't do them like they used to anymore. And what we're left with in the 250 class are those commuting learner eco boxes, which are great if that's what you want it for. But unfortunately, you don't got these anymore. The problem is, this unsung hero class of the 90s is now dying out. As with anything old, it's getting valuable, parts are getting really hard to find. It's hard to find examples of these bikes that haven't been absolutely decimated. They're a dying breed, and that's why I'm glad I was able to get my hands on one of these beautiful little 250s and experience it properly before moving on to my next bike. The thing is, these bikes are still pretty damn cheap, and it makes sense, they're old, but it's not really like the JDM car market where your old 80s, 90s golden era cars have just shot up in value. These have increased slightly, but nothing to that extent. So get in while you can, is all I can say. So that's my little spiel on why I think these bikes, the Bandit 250 and all the other little inline 4s of its day and class, are underappreciated. That's the bone I had to pick. But now that rant is over, we can talk about the bike. My God.